How's it going, guys? Jace here, back again with some more Grand Blue. As recording of this video, we have 15 days left till the game releases, so I thought I'd give you guys 5 tips that you can use for when the game drops. As someone who's played the game extensively, both for the beta and a couple events, so I have a good amount of time with Grand Blue, so I have some ideas and tips and tricks that will definitely help you guys out. As you see on this really shitty MS Paint drawing, I have my button layout here. Currently I use ABC, deep button on the bottom, skills button, and block button. Just want to keep that in mind as we continue and I go over the tips. But just wanted to let you guys know what my button usage was. I know a couple people were asking me that already. But so let's get on for the first tips. So first tip I have for you is going to be talking about instant blocking. Instant blocking. So at least a good amount of you, I would say, has probably seen the video of James Chen and Ultra David playing the game and the sick Lowain super Yggdrasil, where she does the lightning attack. There's a lot of chip, right? You know, Lowain, I've talked about Lowain a couple times, and that super could be good, but there is definitely ways to negate it, and one of them is instant blocking. Instant blocking does 2 things. It builds you super meter, and it negates chip damage that isn't guard crush. So stuff like that, stuff like Matera's raining arrows, other moves that do a lot of chip damage, you're gonna want to be practicing instant blocking, especially if you come from games that don't have instant blocking, like Dragon Ball or Street Fighter 5. It's definitely something you want to be looking to practice, because there's gonna be a lot of situations, well, not a lot, but there's gonna be a couple situations where you're going to want to have that clutch instant block and be able to negate all the chip damage from all the moves. One of them being, of course, the Yggdrasil super or the Lowain super, so you don't take 1,000 damage for no reason. My second tip for you guys is going to be the block button. Like I mentioned before, I have my button layout here. I put block button on the very end. Block button is pretty important. It's not the best thing in the world because there is some downfalls to it, but block button does very important thing, and that is protect you against cross-ups. Cross-ups, of course, are very good, obviously, but you can negate that in this game. And I keep seeing a lot of people that have played the beta or have played at Frosty Faustings not utilize the cross-up button, especially on certain mix-ups. Grand's Jump D is a very good cross-up move. There's a couple other good cross-up moves. Diva's Body Splash was also Jump D. Lancelot's unique air movements where you can cross you up there. Those are 3 good examples of times to use the block button to protect yourself from cross-ups. So please utilize the block button. It's going to be good for a lot of situations where you're unsure if you can get crossed up or not. Just do it. You're going to be perfectly fine. Block until you recognize what side the opponent is on, and then you can adjust accordingly to what you want to do there. Alright, so my third point is auto combos. Auto combos are not... Okay, this is kind of tricky. I want to say auto combos are not great, even though they are useful in this game, but they're not auto combos that you might be used to, maybe like in Dragon Ball. Auto combos in this game are usually utilized for damage. They're combo filler, especially on fat punishes against like DPs or other things that are very unsafe. Auto combos are great for that. What they aren't great for, and I see a lot of people trying to do, is block strings. Auto combo block strings are not that good because a lot of the times they're either negative, or if you do want to stay plus, you have to use the EX Fireball, or maybe you have another EX move. But they're not good by themselves as auto combos for pressure at all, because you do have to use resources if you do want to be plus. So what I do recommend is obviously use auto combos for fat damage. Using some auto combo variants for stagger pressure could be okay, but the main way you're going to be able to get in pressure is your close normals. A lot of the characters in the game, or at least almost all the characters, have plus frame normals like 5B and 5A. So that's where your stagger pressure is going to lie. It's going to be using 5A or 5B instead of using auto combos as block strings. Those are not going to be very good for pressure. I don't think so. So I would definitely try to shy away now from just mashing auto combo for easy hit confirms and practice really hit confirming into stray proximity normals as your hit confirms. Alright, Next, we're going to be talking about EX moves. EX moves. One note is EX moves are very precious resource because you get locked out of your special move, and it is very bad. Well, not very bad, but you want to be using your EX moves accordingly when they are necessary for you. So you don't want to be throwing out EX fireballs randomly because you're going to be completely out of a fireball for a few seconds. But the main thing about EX moves is you want to be paying attention to obviously your cooldown, but your opponent's cooldown. If they are somebody who's, frank, like just throwing out EX moves willy-nilly, you want to be paying attention to their cooldown because that might give you a chance to get in on them or maybe conduct some sort of game plan you're looking forward to. So, for example, if you're playing Ladiva and you're getting zoned out and Grand does an EX fireball for full screen, that could be your chance to get in on him because now he has no access to a fireball for about 5 to 6 seconds. I don't remember the cooldown exactly, but yeah, he's going to be locked out. So obviously pay attention to your cooldown, your EX moves, but also pay attention to your opponent. It's going to help you get back your momentum in the match, especially if you're down. And my final tip for you guys is frame data. I know there's quite a few fighting games out here that, besides Street Fighter V, that don't really utilize frame data, or frame data isn't important in the game overall. This is not the case. Frame data in this game is going to be very important. A lot of moves are negative that you may not suspect them to be negative. A lot of moves are plus that you may not suspect to be plus. So I would definitely take the time in the lab to go over the characters. There isn't that many. There's only about 12, including the boss character. So go in the lab and check what's plus and what's not. The game in training mode they have announced that has frame advantage in training mode. So you can see very clearly what's plus and what's not. And this is definitely a game where frame data is going to be super duper important. So please check that day one, especially if you don't want to get fucked up online by random moves. You don't know what's happening. Please check the frame data on your moves and the rest of the cast because there isn't that many so far. So definitely get ahead of the curve and learn the frame data for those characters. So that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully these tips will help you out day one. I know they will be something I'll be looking forward to, especially checking out frame data, especially. Very important to know that stuff. And instant blocking, practicing that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in Grand Blue very soon. Take care.